John's work might be spun. And that's what's so disappointing to me, Mike.
You know, John Meacham, I have been boringly predictable, talking time and again how Washington's institutions, America's institutions, would check the worst autocratic instincts of Donald Trump. I must say, I've learned an awful lot over the past several years. And one of the things I've learned is that the position of Attorney General is particularly susceptible to corruption, and not having that straight shooter. You look at the Attorney General Barr, who I believe is every bit as grave of a threat to our constitutional norms as Donald Trump. And let's just, what Chuck just said, I mean, here's a guy that lied about the Mueller investigation and the findings. He actually went and testified and lied and threw out a conspiracy theory that had long been debunked on what the basis of the Mueller investigation was. Even though he knew it was a lie, he's going around the globe right now chasing conspiracy theories that he knows is a lie because he's not representing the people. He is Donald Trump's Roy Cohn. And now, of course, you have Congress defying, or you have Donald Trump defying Congress, the White House, and having contempt for their traditional oversight responsibilities. And I just wonder, how does this stack up to Watergate in 1974? How does Barr stack up to John Mitchell? Because suddenly, John Mitchell doesn't seem like the worst attorney general in U.S. history. He seems like he's probably going to come in second.
Well, you know, in American legal history, you can either be John Marshall or John Mitchell. And I think Bill Barr has chosen his fate here. And so, you know, Mitchell was longtime friend, insofar as Nixon had friends, had been his law partner, and municipal bond lawyer, had left the Justice Department to run the Committee to Re-elect the President. The Committee to Re-elect the President, which, again, in this context, looks like a fairly sedate operation. Was because at least it was, you know, domestic. You know, they didn't hire Russian burglars. I guess if they'd outsourced, that would make it worse. Mitchell was an architect of the cover-up, and was a former attorney general at that point. But the point remains. What General Barr has done is treated the president and his political capacity as his primary client, as opposed to the interests of justice of the United States. And that's the decision he made. He'll answer for it at in the long sweep of history. And I think where we are in terms of the historical comparison with Watergate is very close. We're heading toward a U.S. v. Trump Supreme Court case. We've had all the language from Watergate, stonewalling, modified, limited, hangout, twist slowly in the wind. That whole vernacular is entirely applicable here. The one thing that's a little different is that we're moving even more rapidly. That is, the speed is quicker. The rate of speed is quicker. And I think don't underestimate, or as George W. Bush would say, let's not misunderestimate those polls, that 58, that 53. We haven't gotten 58% of the people to agree to go to Burger King in a long time in this country. 58% is a big number, if that's a solid number. And as Willie was saying, this is the Edmund Burke moment for members of Congress, right? They have a choice. They either reflect the will of their constituents or they exercise their judgment. And the 58%, or let's call it 55%, that enables them to do a little bit of both.
You know, Willie Geist,